Good morning, guys. It's Monday morning, March 16th, and I'm feeling good. It has been, I think, like 4 days since I've had a fever, and I think the virus is out of my system. I still have a little bit of a cough, but it's hard to even know if that's allergies right now or the remnant of the virus. But Mary and I are hunkered down here at the house. Mary's lungs are on the struggle bus right now. Just the repercussions of her body having CF and getting a virus, and then what that does to her lungs, and the infection kind of ramps up her amount of mucus. In some ways reminds us of pre-Trikafta, before she started this new medication. She had just, her lungs were always full of mucus. That being said, I think even with Trikafta now, it's like she has the increased mucus, but she's not coughing. Like if we were pre-Trikafta, there'd be a whole lot more coughing right now than there is. If you catch what I'm saying, there's a lot more coughing. But we're grateful that she's on this medication because, as many of you have noted and have probably observed, we would probably not be at home right now. We'd be in the hospital doing IVs. I have a feeling that eventually we're going to have to do that we're going to have to do IVs. But the other complicated piece of our lives and Mary's health right now is, well, two complicated pieces. One is her blood work, which we got it tested on Friday, so it's been 3 days. 2 days ago on Saturday, we did the Neupogen shot to increase her white blood cell count. Unfortunately, Neupogen doesn't help with her platelets, which were lower than they've ever been for her when we tested them on Friday. So we're going to be going in at some point this week to do blood work to follow up to see where all of that is at. So that's a complicated piece because I think with where her blood work was on Friday, we wouldn't be able to start IVs probably, because they would suppress her bone marrow even more and put her body at a really dangerous spot for infection. So hopefully the Neupogen worked. If the Neupogen worked, we potentially could start IV antibiotics, but I'm kind of hopeful. She's still on the 2 oral antibiotics that she started pretty much a week and a half ago when she started getting sick. Well, a little less than a week and a half. So she has them through this Friday. I kind of feel like what we'll do is we'll check blood work this week. We'll see how her lungs do finishing out the course of oral antibiotics, and then we'll go from there. We already have an appointment set up for the following week, next week, to go into CF clinic. Now, I said there's 2 complicated pieces. The one is the blood work. The other piece is the virus going around right now. Obviously, we want to be super careful to not let either of us be exposed to that. And so we're pretty much isolating ourselves here. One, if we are still carrying any of the virus we had, we don't want to share that with the community. Number 2, we don't want to catch what's going around. There are quite a few cases in our area, and that number is kind of growing every day. So we know that we need to be careful. And I think my encouragement to you guys out there, I know it's a crazy time right now and there's a lot of fears and anxieties, and my encouragement to you is to not be overcome with fear, but to be cautious and to wash your hands. And to those of you, I know a lot of you who watch our videos probably need to isolate yourselves because your bodies are compromised. And so Mary and I are thinking of you guys every day. I mean, I think we're reminded in the midst of all the craziness right now of the need for communities to kind of shut down and all of this going on, I think I'm reminded of the reality that we often have this ideal of what life is supposed to look like, and Mary and I throughout the last few years have learned to embrace the out of the norm of life, embrace the less than ideal. And so I know things like churches are being forced to have services online and not meet in small groups and all of these details, and for some people that kind of feels like the end of the world and what's happening. But in many ways we embrace, like, okay, we thought it should look like this, but okay, let's let it look like this, and embrace the new and the different. And so I guess I'm trying to speak into a lot of the fear and anxiety that's going around right now and say, take a deep breath and keep moving forward and do what's smart, and let's help our neighbors and our communities get through this outbreak and protect people like Mary, whose bodies need to be protected. And so that's my thoughts on this Monday morning as I look at my newsfeed and see kind of some of the craziness. And I'm also encouraged by the steps being taken to protect the vulnerable in our communities. I think it's super important. Anyways, welcome to our day, guys. Well, we have had a quiet day here. Mary hasn't been feeling good this evening. It's evening now, and she's throughout the day at different times been coughing up some blood. So we heard from her CF team, and we're gonna go in the morning and get lab work, and we need to follow up on what her blood's doing after the Neupogen shot and a few days after the last blood draw. So we're gonna go in and do that. We're also gonna do a chest x-ray to see what's going on in her lungs. And I think based on all of that, I think they're also gonna do like a full respiratory panel, even though the virus seems to be completely out of our systems, just to see if, number one, they could diagnose what was going on and if there's lingering effects that we could know that. Anyways, we're gonna go do all that in the morning. Mary's wiped out. Like, I think it's the effects of what's going on in her lungs. It's the effects of a week of a virus. It's also the effects of just her body fighting. And so we're gonna go get in bed and rest, watch a show or something, and that's pretty much our day. I did make chicken and rice. We make this like one pot chicken rice parmesan. It's really good. Mary ate some of that, so that was really good. So that's our day. We'll go say goodnight with Mary. But guys, really thank you guys for coming along. It's often when we are in the midst of sickness, vlogging feels very like, does anybody want to watch this? And you guys have just surrounded us with support, and we really appreciate you guys watching our videos and liking them, and following our journey is an amazing way to support us in this time, and we're really grateful for you guys.
Hello.
Do you have anything?
I was so exhausted today.
Yeah.
So exhausted.
We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
And as always,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
At the hospital.
Good night, Ollie boy.